2022 is going to be one amazing year for roller coasters, with new additions arriving all over the world. So today I'm going to be counting down my top 10 most anticipated roller coasters opening in 2022. Number 10, Leviathan at SeaWorld. The first coaster to make this list will also be the first ever backwards wooden coaster, and what I mean by this is the back two seats are flipped over, so then it will now be facing backwards, and we have already seen this with multiple other coasters in Australia, including DC Rail's Hypercoaster and also Steel Taipan. However, this has never been tried on a wooden coaster before, so as much as this coaster is going to have one of the best themes with also one of the most unique sensations, what will the layout actually look like? So just like most Gravity Group roller coasters, this will have an awesome first drop with also multiple airtime moments, so what more do you want from a wooden coaster? Number 9, Emperor at SeaWorld San Diego. This coaster has now been under construction since 2019. However, even though SeaWorld San Diego has been pushing this project back, we do now know that Emperor will be making its debut in March of 2022. So what can we expect from Emperor? This will have an element, a barrel roll and also a corkscrew, so that isn't anything special to a dive coaster. However, it will have the vest restraints. This is something which has now been implemented on most dive coasters, but I definitely don't find them too bad, and even though you won't get as much airtime, it will still pack a punch and will likely serve as SeaWorld San Diego's best roller coaster. Number 8, Dr. Darbuckle's Cliffhanger at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Another B&M coaster to make this list is now located at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. This is extremely similar to Emperor, however I did have to give it the edge due to it being the steepest of its kind. But where Emperor lacks in airtime, Dr. Darbuckle's more than makes up for this. This is most notable towards the end of the ride as you come off the mid-course and also up into an airtime hill. We don't know how much this will give, but by the animation it looks like riders could be in for a surprise. So apart from the standout element, another great part is likely going to be the first drop. As much as I don't think the extra 5 degrees is going to affect a lot, it's still something to have and definitely makes Dr. Darbuckle's Cliffhanger a must do when visiting the San Antonio area. Number 7, Wonder Woman Flight of Courage at Six Flags Magic Mountain. The near clone of the Jersey Devil coaster is finally going to make its debut in 2022. And what I mean by near clone is that it will have a total of 1 foot taller than the original. However, it will also feature a couple of bunny hills towards the end of the ride, and this coaster will likely be very good but just not top tier, and that's due to the main complaint being the pacing won't be that good. And as much as this will always get brought up when talking about Wonder Woman Flight of Courage, I still think it will serve as the perfect 20th roller coaster for Six Flags Magic Mountain. Number 6, Roaring Timbers at Somewhat Nature Park. This huge GCR will be arriving in Vietnam and will likely make it their best roller coaster. With a height of 95 feet, this coaster will also cover over 2,500 feet of track. But what makes this coaster so special is the way it uses the terrain. This is most similar to something like Thunderhead at Dollywood, which doesn't get anything but rave reviews. So when this coaster opens in 2022, I can imagine that a lot more enthusiasts will be making their way out to Vietnam to experience this coaster along with all of the other really underrated roller coasters in the country. Number 5, Turbo Turtle Power at Nickelodeon Universe. One of the most forgotten coasters comes in the form of Turbo Turtle Power. This intimate launch coaster will have a total of 8 inversions, making it the second most inverted roller coaster in the whole of China. So of course this is going to have a lot of inversions, however what is the rest of the layout going to look like? So we haven't actually got a full confirmation of what it will look like yet. However, of this No Limits 2 recreation, it looks like riders could be in for a treat. The standout element will likely be the Cobra roll, but not to mention the airtime hills, the other 7 inversions and also a great pre-launch section. So overall this coaster is going to be an amazing addition to China in 2022. Number 4, Phoenix at Ferrip Summerland. One of the most bucket list roller coasters will be arriving in Denmark in 2022. This Vekoma creation will most likely be the best coaster in the country, along with being the tallest and fastest, and this will not disappoint when it opens on the 9th of April. The first ever Vekoma Wildcat will also feature the world's first stall loop, and I have to say that it looks amazing, and even though a lot of enthusiasts are not a fan of hang time, I actually quite like it, especially when you have a world class layout ahead of you. So overall this is going to look like one of the best roller coasters in the world, and definitely a ride which I'd like to get on in the near future. Number 3, Pantheon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. After a very long time, it was finally announced that Pantheon will be opening in March 2022, and from all of the animations, this is looking to be a very good roller coaster. To start off with, the trains are going to be some of the best in the industry, with some of the greatest restraints ever created, and that's not to mention the layout in general, because that's just amazing, and some of the standout elements will likely include the vertical spike at the top and also the 0G roll, so all of this will come together to create a possible top 3 roller coaster in the state. Number 2, Airy Force 1 at Fun Spot America Atlanta. One of the most anticipated roller coasters which I'll be experiencing next year comes in the form of its 150 foot RMC, and from the height to the speed and also the elements, this is looking like a top 5 roller coaster. And if I could break down the elements, this will feature a dive loop, a 0G stall, a 0G roll, and also one insane barrel roll. And if I have to choose the standout element, I predict that it will be the 0G roll. This is due to having some of the most incredible views whilst hanging 150 foot under the structure. So if this doesn't make you want to get out to Atlanta next year, just look straight to the space theme, and a trip to this theme park will be more than worth it. Number 1, Anugazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Even though Airy Force 1 is going to be one of the best roller coasters on earth, I just couldn't find a better spot for Anugazi than number 1. So what makes this coaster so good? The first drop, which will be the steepest on any RMC, will have an angle of 91 degrees, and I honestly can't imagine how this would feel on the back row. But after this, you head on one of the most insane airtime moments, and even though this is going to be an amazing element, the next element is what I think will be the overall best. This is the barrel roll down drop, and this looks like one of the best elements ever created. So with all of this, there is no doubt that Anugazi is going to be one amazing roller coaster. So there you have it, my top 10 most anticipated roller coasters opening in 2022. And with all of the delayed coasters from the last 2 years, along with all the new ones in 2022, this is going to be one amazing year. So what coaster are you most excited to see open in 2022? Make sure to leave all of your comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.